Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming my May anti-haul video. If you're new to my channel, I upload a anti-haul every month just talking about the makeup that I didn't buy in the previous month. It's a lot of fun for me because I do test out a lot of makeup, but there is so much more that I say no to, which is so wild, but also it's so fun to roast some makeup launches. So if you're interested, highly recommend subscribing to my channel so you can keep up with these monthly videos. And without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay guys, I wrote down a list. We got 26 things to anti-haul, which is pretty wild considering there's like 30 days in a month average. And so I have a launch for every day basically. So the first thing I want to anti-haul is the new luxury makeup line from Valentino Beauty. And I do like some of Valentino's fashion line. I especially like the rock stud shoes that they have. They're cute. I don't really own anything from Valentino. It's not my favorite designer brand by any means, but I thought this was kind of iconic with the packaging and stuff like that. And they launched a really big range of products, probably seeing the success that other luxury brands are having with their makeup lines. Maybe that inspired them to start up their own brand. Also, I forgot to move to the side so I can throw up pictures, but here is the line. There's this like very pricey clutch that you can wear. It's a 2-in-1 couture accessory, and I think it's like to hold powders, so you can like put a specific powder in there. They also launched like a massive lipstick line. There's a foundation line, there's blushes, there's eyeshadow palettes. They've got all the things, and yeah, it's very interesting. So everything's pretty high priced, and honestly I'm so not interested in this that I don't even have anything funny or sassy to say about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. The next thing I'm anti-hauling is the collaboration between Morphe brushes and the makeup artist. I believe his name's Ariel or Ariel, I'm not really sure. I know that they work with a lot of influencers in like the LA area. I feel like I've seen him being mentioned by so many YouTubers and stuff like that. So there's 2 brush sets. There's the Signature Look 12-piece face and eye brush set for $98, and then the Signature Eyes 8-piece brush set for $48. Now these brushes do look a little bit more custom than like the regular Morphe brushes, but I still feel like $98 for a Morphe set is pretty pricey. I definitely have purchased Morphe brushes in the past, but now I feel like I would just save my money and purchase something from Sigma or BK Beauty, or even the Nabla brushes are really good. I've had those for a while if you're looking for something more affordable. Real Techniques has some great brushes. Kaleidos has some nice brushes. Like, I actually have such a wide range of brushes because I buy like high-end, I buy just drugstore price brushes. So I think it just depends on what you're looking for, but this is honestly such an easy pass for me, so just wanted to mention that in this video. The next thing I want to anti-haul is the Urban Decay X Prince collaboration. Now I personally heard mixed reviews on this. I feel like I heard people say that this was a good representation of the type of makeup Prince wore, and then there was the people in the other camp which was like, no, these palettes suck, like poor Prince is probably like rolling in his grave, etc, etc, etc. So I feel like Urban Decay really like split the crowd here, and personally I have no horse in this race. I wasn't really a big Prince fan or anything ever. I mean, so I don't know what to make of it, but it seems like either you love it or hate it. I personally, just looking at the eyeshadow palettes, I thought they look really nice. I think the palette with the more purple shades look really pretty. I saw some people that got the palette in PR do looks with it, and I thought it was nice, and I contemplated buying them. I haven't had good luck with Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes recently, so it wasn't anything I was like really crazy about, so I ended up passing on it. The next thing I'm anti-hauling is the Goss Edit collection. So this is a new set of brushes that he launched for $225. And I do like buying high-end eyeshadow brushes because I feel like I use them so much, and I feel like there's nothing as good as high-end brushes. Sometimes the shapes and the quality of the bristles really help blend makeup, and it really enhances my experience with my eyeshadows. So I do like having nicer eyeshadow brushes, but it's nothing I need, and for $225 I feel like that's a little bit over my budget for brushes at the moment, so I did end up passing on that as well. The next thing I passed on, which I'm kind of surprised about because I definitely contemplated buying these, are the Natasha Denona Puff Paint blushes. Like, they're like cream blushes, and I feel like the launch was kind of hush-hush because they launched like a couple of days after the Zendo palette, and I feel like they were kind of like, not that they were an afterthought, but she like snuck them in there, so I was kind of confused because I'm like, I was trying to think like, why isn't she making a big deal of this product? I don't know if it's because she only launched 3 of them. It didn't feel like a big enough collection to make some noise over. But I did look at these, and honestly, I felt like maybe I could get the dark shade, but then I was like, there's only 3 shades, and I didn't feel like there was enough shades. And you guys know if I'm gonna buy a blush, I'm usually looking for a corally blush. So then I was like, yeah, I don't need these, so I didn't end up skipping on them, but I'd be curious to know if you guys picked any of those blushes up, and if you tried them, and if you did try them, what are your thoughts on the puff paints from Natasha Denona. The next thing I'm anti-hauling is the NARS Orgasm on the Beach palette for $59, and then the Jumbo Orgasm for $40. I feel like I'm gonna need to make that like my thumbnail, like Jumbo Orgasm. What is a Jumbo Orgasm? Anybody? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get demonetized for saying that. Oh well. Anyways, it's interesting. Like, the palette was really cute. I did feel like it was catfishing me though, because I feel like the promo pictures definitely made the palette look more vibrant than some of the pictures I saw in people's thumbnails. There's a beautiful orangey shade and a beautiful like orgasm shade, like a red shade that caught my attention, but in the end I feel like I have quite a few NARS face palettes, and I have owned quite a few NARS face palettes in the past, so I decided to go ahead and pass on that as well. The next thing I anti-hauled is the Pat McGrath Venus in Fleurs Luxe Quad for $58. Intended to, but I love them. I'm actually wearing a Pat McGrath blush today, and it's so nice, and of course she did a wonderful job. But I didn't expect her to launch a quad and lipsticks and all that stuff with her blushes, but she did, and I know I saw people review it. The eyeshadow palette honestly was like a little too neutral for me, and I personally prefer the Mothership palette, so it was an easy pass on the quad for me, honestly, and I really wasn't that interested in the shades she chose either. So yeah, I decided to pass on that. And then another easy pass was the Jouer French Riviera collection. There's an eyeshadow palette for $34, and the sparkly shades definitely caught my attention, but the color story was definitely more muted than what I like for an eyeshadow palette, especially with my skin tone and stuff like that. So again, another easy pass for me. And then we have the ColourPop So Very Lovely collection. I actually did end up picking up the blush in Georgette just because it's a peachy blush, and you guys know how I feel about peachy blushes. I haven't tried that out yet because there's a very specific brush in my collection that I like to use with the Super Shock cheek shade, so I haven't whipped it out to test it out yet. But the eyeshadow palette, and there's a few other things in that collection, honestly I don't even remember what, and it just looks so same old as far as ColourPop goes. I will say ColourPop has surprised me with some of their new launches, like the High Tide palette, and I also really enjoyed the Barbie palette, like more than I ever thought I would. But the So Lovely collection was kind of a snooze in my humble opinion. Next, I'm anti-hauling the Carly Bible X Il Maquillage collection. She, I believe, launched 3 face palettes. There was like a light, a medium, and a dark. And they were beautiful, $54. I love the packaging for some reason. They reminded me of like Disney. I don't know why. Tell me if it did for you as well. But I have so many face palettes and blushes, and I love blushes, don't get me wrong, but it's not a brand I'd ever tried, so I wasn't really drawn to it. Also, I'm not really a Carly Bible like super fan like some people are, so it was an easy pass for me. So my next anti-haul is the Soul Body Face and Body Foundation in 12 shades. Again, I don't have anything against body foundations because I know there's people that have a need for it. Some people like to cover up like scars and things like that, or they're being photographed, or it's an event or a wedding or whatever it is. So I totally get why face and body foundations exist, but I don't really need one, so it was an easy pass for me on that as well. Next is the Glossier Balmy Lip in 9 shades for $18. I bought a bunch of Gucci lip balms during the Sephora sale, so the last thing I need is a lip balm. And I'm currently testing out the Odenzai lippies because they send me their lip stains, their liquid lips, and some of their lipsticks. So I have plenty of lips to play with, so the last thing I need to buy is more lipstick. Even though every once in a while I'll have a moment of weakness and a lipstick will end up in my collection. Like I just bought a liquid lip from Manny. I think I did it mostly to get free shipping because I had to spend like $2, of course. So of course I bought an $18 lipstick. Like, why not? That totally makes sense. So I bought my 80th terracotta orange lipstick shade. The next thing I'm into hauling is the Cruella x MAC collection. Now, again, I feel like some people really liked the Cruella movie. Some people really didn't like the Cruella movie. I thought it was a fun movie. I love Emma Stone. I liked some of the fashion. And honestly, I was just happy that Disney made a movie that didn't make me like cry, because all Disney movies just end up making me really sad. So I was just happy to have a movie that didn't make me sad. It kind of made me laugh a little, and Cruella's evil. There's no doubt in that. But I really enjoyed her outfits. I really enjoyed the makeup, because I did go back and watch the 101 Dalmatians live action movie with Glenn Close. And I know some of you would disagree with me that her makeup is classic, but I thought her makeup looked very bad in that movie. If you go back and watch it, it looks like they didn't put any makeup on her eyelids. They just did like red eyeshadow from like her crease to the brow, and I thought it was the strangest looking makeup ever. So I'm not gonna fight anyone in the comments over that, but that's just my opinion, okay? So anyway, they did a MAC collection, and honestly, I think this was kind of a weird palette, but I guess editorial wise it kind of makes sense because they included like a black and a white and all that stuff. And maybe if you like to collect like makeup as like merchandise or like merch for the movie, then it would be kind of a fun thing to have. I used to be like a bigger MAC collector back in the day, but now I just don't care, so easy pass on that for me as well. So the next thing I passed on was the Melt Nudes collection. They launched 11 matte lipsticks for $22 each, and usually I will buy mostly anything from Melt because I think they have such interesting launches. But matte lipsticks, again, I don't need any lipsticks, but also I just was underwhelmed by the collection itself, so it was an easy pass for me on that too in the end. Okay, next one I really wanted to buy, but again, I just told you guys how much lipstick I have in my life, so I couldn't justify owning these. But the Dose of Colors X Nima Tang collaboration was so beautiful, and I love that they chose a woman of color, because I do feel like there's not enough representation of women of color, especially when it comes to collaborations with brands. I know brands are trying, and I see brands trying, so I'm not trying to discredit the people that do try to collab with a variety of people, but I just think there's room for more. So I would love to see that. But very big congratulations to Nima Tang, and I think she did such beautiful shades. And like I said, if I didn't already have a million lipsticks, I would have totally jumped for these, but I think they were like 49 bucks a pop for like 4 lipsticks, which is a great price. I just didn't need that many lipsticks, so it was an easy pass for me, but I think it was really an awesome collaboration. Next is another easy pass. This is the Morphe X Coca-Cola Round 2, and they launched a palette and some lippies. I don't know if they did brushes. I forgot to write down what they launched with the collection, but I will insert a picture here so you can see the palette and stuff like that. It's kind of like a very muted, kind of colorful, kind of neutral palette, and it's nothing that I want. Again, I think it's another good purchase for people that collect makeup, like they collect merch and like Coke is their favorite drink. I do drink a lot of Coke, but I feel like if I was gonna buy a Coca-Cola themed palette, I need more. I need more, and I need Morphe to do better. So next collection that was so easy to anti-haul is the one and only collection from XO Beauty. So this is I believe she's from New Zealand, Shannon XO's line. I've always wanted to try her makeup, and every once in a while she does have a good sale like around Black Friday and stuff. So I'm always like thinking like, should I get one of her palettes just to try the brand and stuff like that? But they're so kind of neutral, and don't get me wrong, I love a good neutral palette, but it's like when it's coming all the way from New Zealand and it's like, it would be like my 80th neutral palette, it kind of takes low priority on my list. So I've never tried the brand, and I love the idea of a wedding collection. I know when Kim Kardashian did her like Mrs. West line for KKW Beauty, I think people were really excited for a wedding themed eyeshadow palette because there's not a lot of them out there. But yeah, other than that, it was kind of an easy pass. I like the theme, but that was about it for me. Next is the Ciate and Edna Mode collab. I actually contemplated getting this because my mom reminds me of Edna Mode. I don't think my mom's ever been on my channel, but every once in a while when I go live, she's in the live chat. So a few of you have actually met my mom through the live chat, but if you see her in person, she has these like really thick frame glasses. They're not as thick as Edna's, but she also has like, sometimes she like chemically straightens her hair, so then she has like dead straight hair with the bangs, and she totally looks like an Asian Edna Mode. So I don't actually know if Edna Mode is Asian. Anyway, I just think my mom looks like her, so it makes me laugh because I'd always tease my mom and be like, you look like that one lady in The Incredibles, and then they did this Edna Mode collection, so I really contemplated just buying it just so I could have it in my collection. But the color story is so weird, and like the palette kind of reminds me of the Wet n Wild Pac-Man collection. Does anybody see the resemblance now that I said it? I knew I'd be buying it for a silly reason, so I did decide to go ahead and pass on that. The next thing I'm anti-hauling is the Hip Dot X Clueless collection. Another IP that I'm not a big fan of, so it was an easy pass for me. I feel like there's not too many IPs I fall for. I mean, I did get the Barbie collection, but honestly, that literally I placed that order at like midnight or 11 o'clock at night one day because I was so bored and there were no new makeup collections launching, and literally Memorial Day weekend happened, and then the Tuesday after Memorial Day weekend, everybody sneak peek like all of their collections at once. And I feel like we're just getting over that hill because I swear last week I had literally like 5-6 makeup launches written down in my planner of things I wanted to buy, like from Jaclyn Hill to like the Supreme Bronze palette that I'm wearing today. Like I made so many makeup purchases last week, so it's kind of nice to be able to anti-haul some things because I'm like, oh, it was an easy pass. It was an easy pass. Well, you know why? Because I'm not anti-hauling anything that wasn't an easy pass because I bought it. Try not to judge. Anyway, so I wasn't really ever into Clueless. I keep thinking I should watch the movie because I don't remember having watched it. So I don't really know if I've seen it or I've just seen it referenced so many times in like pop culture that I feel like I've seen it. But I feel like it was a little bit before my time, so I'm not part of the Clueless fan club, but maybe I'll watch it and let you guys know my thoughts in an upcoming video. So we made it to the 20th item on my list, and it's Victoria Beckham's Matte Bronzing Brick for $58. I think this is so beautiful, and I know everybody was really excited. I haven't tried Victoria Beckham's makeup line yet, but I keep hearing good things, so I'm assuming it's really nice. And I like that she does like the refillable compacts and she's like environmentally conscious and things like that. But literally around the same time that came out, I had just gotten the Juvia's Place bronzer, and this is so good. Like, it's so good, and it's like a quarter of the price of the Victoria Beckham one, and it's a US based brand, so I'm like, why would I pay to have something from Victoria Beckham when I can just get something from a brand based in the US, so I guess I don't know. Maybe Victoria Beckham makeup could be based here. I guess I haven't looked. I just assumed it was made somewhere in Europe because she's from England. My bad. You guys can correct me in the comments if you want to. Okay, next thing I anti-hauled is a influencer brand, Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics Prep Set Collection. So she did a bunch of like powders and like eyeshadow primer something. Like there was a bunch of stuff that launched on Ulta and it looked mildly interesting, but it's nothing I really needed. Now her blush collection, that got me. I'm not gonna lie about that. But the Prep and Set collection was an easy pass for me. I did see some YouTube friends review it and it looked like it got decent reviews. So if you bought it, you'll have to let me know what your thoughts were, but it was nothing I needed, so it was an easy pass for me. Also, if you guys are wondering, I did film this makeup look. This is my Artist Couture Supreme Bronze makeup look, so I will link it in the description box. I usually will link the looks that I filmed in my description box of any other videos I filmed with the same look, just in case you guys want to refer back. So just thought I'd mention that. Okay, the last few things. So we have the ABH face palettes for $58 in 3 shades. Oh my god, like the internet lost its mind with these. Everybody was like coming for ABH with pitchforks because it was like the 3 palettes and they were so expensive. And you know what? I agree. I don't see why ABH thinks they can charge $58 for face palettes when there's so many other face palettes out there that are much more affordable. Anyway, I don't know. That whole collection was boring, so easy pass for me. Another easy pass was the Huda Glow palettes for $29. I didn't realize these were small. Like apparently they're the size of the Obsession palettes. And I low-key contemplated getting them to do like a dedicated review on YouTube. But I have her large size palettes, highlighter palettes, and I don't even reach for that. I mean, the quality is great and all. It's just I don't reach for it. So I'm like, why would I buy more? Why would I buy more highlighter palettes if I don't even have time to use the one I have? So I'm glad I ended up passing on that actually because I was really tempted to get it. Next is the Zara Beauty line. So I'm friends with a few YouTubers and we talk every once in a while, and I know quite a few of them were very excited for the Zara Beauty line. And I was too. Like I used to really shop at Zara when I was in college. I loved the clothes. I never actually had access to a store, so I would shop online. But I have been to Zara a few times in person as well. And I just like their vibe. So anyway, I was excited to see it, and then it finally launched and I looked through the website and I was like, it's kind of nice, but the prices are kind of like medium. Like they're not exactly drugstore, they're not exactly luxury, and they're not high-end, but they're still like expensive enough where I'm like, like, you know, I was just not drawn to anything. And so I'm like, why am I trying to like convince myself to buy something for the sake of being able to do like a video and be like Zara Beauty? Like I think I saw Manny just recently tested out the product, so I'd be curious to see it, but other than that, I was not that drawn to it, so easy pass on that. Next anti-haul is the Hula Glow by Benefit, and this was $30. I would just like to say, as a person that has no horse in this race, how does Benefit get away with this stuff? Like I feel like there's so many brands that get called out for not being inclusive and brands getting canceled here and there and everywhere, but Benefit somehow is like the cockroach that survived, that won't die. And I'm not saying we should cancel Benefit. I'm just saying I want to know who decided that Benefit got the pass to just come out with one freaking highlighter shade. Like you finally launched like Hula Caramel and Hula Deep and Hula Cappuccino or whatever they launched, you know, they finally added more shades to the Hula line after people asking for years and years and years. And then they go and have the audacity to just launch one version of the shimmer. I'm assuming it's a bronzer. It looks very light, so I'm assuming most people would have to wear it as a highlighter that had a lighter complexion. But it's like, how do they keep getting a free pass? I'm just asking. Because if there's one brand I try to avoid buying from, it's definitely Benefit. Oh my gosh. I mean, I still buy like I have one of their brow pencils, but I really don't think I have anything else in their from them in my collection. I could be wrong. And again, like I said, I'm not big on like canceling brands. I just think it's so funny that they continue to survive when other brands like sneeze wrong and it's like, no, we must cancel them. I don't know. Maybe that's my unpopular opinion. It's okay if we disagree. As long as you're nice to me in the comments, it's fine. And as long as you're nice to everybody else in the comments, that's fine too. But I'm just asking. I'm just asking for a friend. Okay, the last thing I'm anti-hauling. I feel like this one I would have loved to like purchase, but I'm also very skeptical about this brand. So it's Lisa Aldridge and her summer line. She did so many beautiful things. I think she did lipsticks, glosses, there were some cream blushes, I think maybe even some highlighters. I'm not 100% sure. I did buy 3 of her lipsticks from like a holiday launch or something, maybe last year. And I thought they were nice, but I feel like they were a little bit overhyped, like because they're at a luxury price point. So for me, I felt like they were a little expensive. I know people like swear by her lipsticks, and hey, like everybody likes different things. Like that's the beauty of being human, right? Like everybody has different preferences. I might like one liquid lipstick and you might like a gloss, and it's okay. We can all agree to disagree on silly stuff like that. So personally, I'm on the like, it's okay. Like I wouldn't ever be like, oh yeah, spend your money. This is the best lipstick ever or anything like that. So I kind of contemplated like in the back of my mind, like, okay, if I happen to be able to purchase something when she launches, sure, I'll do it. Then there was a delay, and then I think there was a new launch time announced, and by that time I'd already lost track of the whole situation. So I didn't end up buying anything, so I put it on my anti-haul list, but I'm sure you guys probably purchased, so let me know what you ended up getting from that collection. Have you received it? What are your thoughts? You guys know I love chatting to you in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I will see you in my next video soon. Bye guys!